Hello, hello, and welcome to yet another stream. So, during the last stream, we built this whole system here where we can build stuff. Right now, there's no checking of whether we're allowed to build something here, but I can keep on spamming different buildings. And kind of like fill out this whole space here. So that's great. My idea for today was something like maybe try to speedrun something like an iron extractor. Um, but first we need to implement some resources. This is going to be a question mark. We might not do it. I think the tile system is obvious since it's so few vertices. But yeah. So the general idea is that we, for resources, which is currently drawn down here, resources, and we'll create a new way to draw them. And maybe even move this up. Writing in all caps like a boomer. Yeah, so we should create some kind of like resource system here. Let's do a class called resource data store, which has some public functions and some private stuff. And let's declare an extern resource data store. And right now we don't have any namespaces in here. Oh, core. Well, no, not core. Here we go. A resource data store. Is that right? Let's just copy this. There we go. And we need to be able to create some resources. Let's do just a simple function here, create resource patch. And let's do something like a const unsigned int. Xpos const unsigned int ypos const unsigned int maybe maybe uh Dr. Unknown, what do you actually mean, like a tutorial video or something? Let's just do a value, or rather amount for now. Also, let's do a expand. Maybe we want um, and tutorial videos are like potentially tens or maybe even hundreds of hours of editing work. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that. I have a full-time job besides this hobby here. So let's see. Let's see. So maybe okay, it should probably be fine here. Okay, const unsigned int expand const unsigned int cspan. Okay, so let's see. Let's see a let's just do a vector of unsigned int. No, not unsigned, I think. Let's do actually int here. M resource amounts for now. Hmm. Okay, let's do that for now. Did I change that? Yeah, I did. Okay. So for now, we will do something like, well, should we store a position somewhere? Uh, would we need the position? So whenever we create the actual So I imagine that we want to assign some resources to the map or the tile map itself. Yeah, so the amounts we can store in this vector here. But I guess we would want I mean, we could create a 2D vector, but I guess that could be kind of like instantiated all over memory. Um, do we even want smaller chunks or? No. I guess we could just store a set of coordinates, resource, coordinates, coordinates. X plus no, this should be int because, well, it should be within a chunk. It should be, shouldn't it be relative to a chunk? I mean, we could end up with pretty crazy coordinates, couldn't we? I guess. It's of course a bit easier to handle just world grid coordinates, but let's see what we need. Let's just build something. I'm not gonna think too much about it today. Resource coordinates. Coordinates. Okay. And when we generate our let's do our X. And our X is lower than X plus plus. And then our C and our C less than C span C plus plus. Actually, I think I want to do the X is the inner loop. I don't know why, but it suits me better. Resource coordinates. xpos plus x, cpos plus c. Let's do resource coordinates. Right. Okay. Resource amount. Okay. So far, we're gonna do something like what we've already done. Void set resource draw params. Constant sign int. Mesh index. And let's do the same thing for the texture index here. Const float y offset. Const float scale. And what else do we use to draw our iron? Texture, mesh materials, flags. We could add that, but we're not gonna do it. We have that position stuff. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see, draw params here. Let's see, float. Float scale. There we go. So let's set these parameters here. Mesh index. Yeah, for now we will do like this. I'll probably implement some other system for this eventually. Let's see. Okay. And let's create a resource patch then, and then let's get a let's do something like resource draw params. Material index. Yeah, and this is not pretty in terms of alignment, but well, we probably want something additional eventually, so right now I'm not gonna care too much. Resource draw params, and this should just be for one type of resource. Yeah, basically we don't need to store this. We can store it in the struct here. Params dot params material index params dot texture index. Whoops. Let's see scale. Okay. Let's do public draw related. Let's do get resource draw params. There we go. And let's do a get resource coordinates. Resource coordinates here. Okay. So first of all, let's do this in our application. Resources. Isn't that the namespace? Oh, I haven't included it. Include resource data store. G create set this. Okay, let's see. What did we do in terms of our mesh data here? Okay. Five, 7, minus 0.0.6f, and then the scale 0045. Okay. And let's do something that is maybe at the and on the X, and then 2, and then maybe 10 resources in each. And let's see if everything compiles. Yeah, we do. It even runs. Let's see. Draw params equals. And of course, this is supposed to be 0. Mesh data. Maybe we even want to. Yeah, maybe we just want to do something like. Let's do this pointer resources. Okay. And then for I++, let's skip the orientation for now. Let's do draw params mesh index here. Didn't I do it like this? Yeah. Let's do res. No. Draw params here. Mesh index. Draw params. Material index. Draw params. Texture index. Let's do a UN32T. Flags. Oh, the material and texture is actually swapped. Okay, that's not great. That's not great. Yeah, it'll end up confusing. Yeah, I also did it. No, buildings, that's the one I already swapped. I guess we could collapse this as well. But we're probably gonna do, so this is manual. This is also manual. Yeah. So we can easily swap these, I think. We might end up with some weird bugs, but let's see. Let's see, let's get our resource here. Resource. Huh? Nah. Draw params, Y offset. And then the draw param scale. Okay. Okay, draw params was a null pointer. Well, it shouldn't be. It definitely shouldn't be. Get resource. Didn't I add it? Oh, I didn't add it. Okay. Well, that's why. Yeah, we Gucci. And we suddenly have a couple of resources here. Great stuff, great stuff. So let's see, did it actually match our parameters? No, it didn't. Oh, that's why. There we go. And everything is running. Okay, so these should have, what do you call it? What do you call it? Yeah, they should have an amount as well. So that's pretty good. We're basically able to create whatever we want now dynamically and just render it. So that's great. Now we should create some functionality in terms of actually start doing some stuff here with our buildings and resources and so forth. Okay. Let's see, textures, icon 1 DDS. Yeah, this beautiful thing here we will actually load. Icon1.dds. Okay, and inside our builder system, for one, when we do this, we need to set our this flag here to, or rather this value here to invalidate it. Let's do an ImGUI here, same line. And let's do builder system widgets. Iron grill extractor. And basically let's do the same thing here. Build heat tower icon. Solar panel. Iron extract. Okay, and let's see. Our test cube here is our third mesh here. And let's just try doing this for now. We have our cube here. And let's do a building type iron extractor. Okay. Let's see. So, okay, this is way too big. And we don't need the offset stuff here. Okay. And the Y offset. Of course it doesn't work, but because we haven't implemented the actual building, let's create the building. Iron extractor. And we have the X-span, C-span, test box, standard box. Let's do a material of 0. I think it's our, or rather texture of 0. And we can do the same thing. It's not supposed to be emissive, so no special flags here. Yep. Are we actually allowed to build a box? We're allowed to build a box. Although, yeah, we need to actually do another box here in Blender and just offset it. So let's do move on the, whoops. Okay, so let's do GC1, yeah. And let's export this. Not music. There we go. Don't save. Yeah, and then we need to fix the thingy here. Okay. So now we can build boxes here. Let's see, can I do an increase here of the span itself? Well, it doesn't really work other than the offset itself. Now that's an interesting thing. But anyway, we would have a model that kind of like fitted, so I guess we don't care. Okay, so we can build our quote-unquote iron extractor here. Right now we can't do any checking. I guess we want some checking then in order to be able to build it. Yeah, so that means that we also need to change our builder system code here. So the UI here is fine. And we will keep our buttons here. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of this stuff here is actually going to change because at least this is fine. So whenever we click, we create a building, yada yada. So for now, let's collapse this. And perhaps let's move this outside this part here. GUI draws. Okay. Hello, how are you doing? So, this should somewhat detect whether we are in build mode. I'm pretty fine. Just chilling with some code in here. What are you up to? Let's see. Sounds nice, man. Anyway, so I guess we could do something like bool. Just do a naive approach. Building in build state equals the game state. Let's do a whoops, not all the way back, but game state building selected larger than or equal to 0. If that is the case, we set it true, otherwise false. Is this not the way? Oh yeah, that's the question mark, of course. So if we're in the build state, we can actually build something. And we need something like called a valid Build is build valid. If we're in the build state, we need to do some checking here. Uh, I don't know if we want to compute this every frame, but I don't think it's expensive, is it? To do some checking. Let's see, we have our world space X and let's do a DXC core print. Uh, Xpos. Yeah, we have it here. Trying to build in on Xpos CPOS here. Okay. Let me see. Let's move it over here. Whoops. 0, 1, 2, 3, or rather, that looks correct, right? Okay. Let's see if we move out here. Yeah, it's definitely not. So this is basically 0 on the X, and it's like offset by maybe a half. So this should turn into 1. Yeah, so on the border here we switch. How about this border here? Yeah. Okay, so that's better. That's the correct value. No, I'm just testing whether the flooring is correct here. Yeah. So that seems to be working fine. Okay. We have that parameter. Then we could check some logic. And let's do some kind of like function here, I guess. So yeah, I am. And then we can check whether there's a building somewhere, I guess. Did we actually create a logic for that? Uh, uh, yeah, I think it's probably easier just to bind a tile to a particular building index. I don't know. It's probably better to do that. Yeah, that also takes a lot of work and is pretty impressive, dude. So that's pretty good, man. Probably took a lot of effort, and you should be proud. Uh, okay, we could do the tile data store. I mean, we don't even need the X and C position. Oh, thank you. That's way too much. But sure, I'll try to. Thank you. I mean, my idea is that we will have chunks which have 64 tiles in them, which could be just arranged as simply 64 indices inside the chunk array, and it wouldn't even need the X and Y position because we would always know that it's a chunk is 8 times 8, so an index is always translatable into X and Y coordinates. So uh, But right now we're trying to draw them. Yeah, probably. I don't know how Minecraft is implemented. So that would, of course, kind of like change this a bit, because we wouldn't actually yeah. Let's see. How to do this then. Would we simply want something like when we initialize a chunk, uh, then we set we would want to set maybe a lot of zero values, but I'm thinking like if we did something like building and then a resource, for instance, and even maybe split it into two different vectors and set it to 0 every time, and then if it was something else than 0, there would be a building. That's one way of doing it, but then we would end up using um, um, you can post it, but yeah, I'm probably gonna do something without reading or watching the link. So, but if anyone else is interested, sure, feel free to post it. So that's one way of doing it, just initializing a bunch of data to 0. Otherwise, we would want if we wanted to compress it, well, I don't know. So my idea is that we could look at the current tile and check if we're allowed to build on its and this would be from the chunk index Um, then we could look at it, but how should we control whether? I guess we could do a binary search, but do we really want to iterate over every single potential item? Otherwise, one where we're using a lot of memory, one where we're kind of like ending up having to search something. Um, and I mean, searching is probably less scalable, but also um, storing a lot of chunk data. Maybe if we don't have expensive chunk data, but so let's try to calculate. So on 64 kilobytes, we can store, for instance, if we wanted a resource and a building in, we could store so many tiles and then 128 chunks. Well, I guess that's not too bad, is it? Only 64 kilobytes. Okay, let's just do it. I don't need to contemplate it a lot. Uh, I don't even use the game state. Yeah, right now it's fine. So instead of actually storing the X and Y position here, let's just do a yeah. Everything is manually implemented, so okay. So we do like this, uh, and whenever right now our create the tile stuff here is not wrong. So we'll just create some empty ones. This is at least one way to do it. I guess if you would initialize a series of chunks, you would store some data about them. I don't know. I'll have to look into how other people do it. Anyway, right now our tile map will not render anymore because the application doesn't know how to translate it anymore. So game tiles. The X position is our I value here. I think it's modulo over 8, and our C position here should probably be our value here divided by 8. Let's see. Yeah, so actually nothing changed. You can't see any difference because it actually just worked. So, uh, but the title stuff shouldn't be rendering correctly if I made a mistake. Anyway, so now our system here uh, is actually allowed to let's just clamp it right now to avoid errors. Or rather, let's do an index. Now, yeah, okay, let's do an index. Tile index, which will be the maximum of 0 and X position. Am I not allowed to do that? Do I need to? I guess. So we make sure that it's no lower than 0. Oh, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. And thank you for your subscription. Matthew, is that the right way to pronounce it? Or did I butcher it? Let's see. Okay. Are you Dutch or something? Or where are you from? Maybe Belgian or? So, whoops. This is the way. This is the way. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. I guess that would be my third guess. Okay, so this is index 63, which is actually correct. And this should be, well, 55, which is great. This should be 7. Yeah, we're at 7. Our algorithm here works. This is 0. Great. So now we can actually look up our index. Temporary clamp to uh, 0. Cause of no chunks ready yet. Okay, so if we have our tile map stuff here, tile data store, we should be able to do a small lookup here on the let's change this. There we go. And inside here, we actually have an implementation here, which we don't use. So let's just delete it. Whoops. Oh, we actually use it for this size itself. Yeah, okay. No, we know what that is already. We do 64 here. There's no reason to use that. We already know. We already know. Okay. So whenever we create our resources or resource patches here, I actually want to let's do something like chunk expos chunk cpos because we want to kind of like update the thing. Chunk tile index equals our chunk expos plus chunk cpos times 8. I guess we would want something system values here, like define game chunk width height. So we could always change it. Just to be certain that we're actually good in terms of future-proofing a bit system values here. Yep. Also, let's do it down here. There we go. Are you just using ints in when you do C? Or are you just tired? Let's see. So, and then in our child data store here, let's do something like void uh, uh, set resource. Or rather, not I, not yet. um, yeah, well, that makes sense. Let's see. Uh, should be deprecated. Okay, let's see. Yeah, exactly. Can't be negative. Also, it can be larger than than an regular int because it doesn't need to save space for the negative component. I think at least I think it can be 2 times bigger because you allow the last bit to be a number rather than a sign. Let's do something like this. Let's see, so let's calculate the index here. Whether yeah. Hello, buddy. How are you doing? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Just programming away. How about you? Let's see. Okay, so in our application here, we can actually. Oh, that's nice. What have you been working on lately? Yeah, it's definitely worth it. No, let's do tile. Not, oh. Let's do. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Okay. Should be replaced by a chunking system. And then, but we create the first chunk here. Create a resource patch, which is 3 times 2 x v c. It's an entity component system. And we set the resources, of course. We do this because it's more cache friendly to actually handle whatever stuff here. Yeah, there's a lot of different good ones. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. So this book here. Let me just see. How can I chat? OBS is not set up the right way. So this one. Let's see. What's the author's name? His Frank Luna, I think. Yeah, it's Frank Luna. So that one is pretty good, I think. Okay, so we set our resources, and then inside our builder, we can actually ask our tile data store here whether or we can just get the tile data, but tile data, maybe reference. That sucks, man. Tile that. Tiles. G tile data store. Okay, tile data index. Tile index here. Okay, if oh wait a minute. Right now, our standard value here is actually 0. So we wouldn't know if it was invalid. So let's just create it like this, and then inside here we can of course use an unsigned in, because we will never assign something that is not at least 0. GXE call print, and let's do a G success wrap here. Found resource, and otherwise we do nothing, I guess. Yeah, how are you doing? Whoops. Okay, let's just debug the index. $58. Okay. Let's see where our problem is. Okay. Yeah, that probably is a fine way to do it. You can also do a hot reloading with a static lib. Let's see. Basically, let's just do... let me see. Let me actually step into the functions here. This tiles. Okay, they are not assigned, it seems. Instead of doing this, let's do tiles resize width times height. Okay. What's the function I do here? Huh. Let's actually create it then, so we can assert and also index is less than 64. Hello, how you doing? Yeah. The only problem with DLLs are that it's probably a bit slower than a static lib, but I think for iterations and general development, it's probably better to do a DLL. But what do I know? Let's see. How are you doing, Fatima? And let's see. Let's step into this function then. Yeah. Okay, and this doesn't actually have anything. Why is that? Why is that? Oh, do I need to actually? Oh yeah, this is one that actually got defined as a static. I didn't know. So this is gonna fix it. Let's see. Okay, that's the problem then. Okay. Yeah, okay. And of course, whenever we get out of scope here, our tile index is of course out of scope as well. And then 63. There we go. So we make sure we clamp it. Great. And let's see. And we find a resource up here. That's pretty great. So let's disable this. If we try to build here, we find a resource. And you can see the spamming on the FPS. Okay. So let's just say that we want a resource to be present to build this building. We said is build valid. True. And we make sure that our game state hologram stuff here texture, I can't remember. So let's just do it green if it's allowed. So I think that's 2. Else, and then let's just change the color here. I think that's the one. Okay, so right now it's blue because we can't build, but once we're over a resource, we can build. Okay. And let's just check whether we try to build. Okay, so, okay, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. I didn't expect that. Is build valid? Oh, oh, that's why. Let's not set anything then. Okay. Okay, so right now I'm clicking away. I can't build anything, but I can build here. Oh. So that's actually because the mouse was pointing at whatever I was trying to build. Yeah. So if the mouse is pointing at it, but the model itself might not, as you can see here, if I kind of like hover the mouse on this resource, it gets screen, but the object doesn't move. So that's basically our hologram. That's not being rendered correctly. I think the application. Let me see. I'm sorry, I didn't watch chat for a while. I learned C++ by just deciding that I wanted to build a different kinds of programs. So I did a lot of Google searching on how to do file handling, do math, do whatever, and then I built more and more complicated projects. So I started this channel by doing machine learning, AI algorithms in C++, and then I decided to do some game development stuff afterwards. Yeah, I didn't complete the tutorials because I freaking hate the editing time. It's so long. But yeah, definitely do some tutorials and then just start playing around with stuff. Google whenever you need to figure out how something works, and maybe use books or resources, tutorials to kind of like understand pointers and memory allocations and stuff like that. Maybe data structures. Okay, so let's see. I was uh, gonna do the game tiles is done. The builder polygons here. Yeah, I don't think I want this to be actually C offset. Yeah, okay. Let's see. So we have one, four, then another four, and this. Okay, we could actually just use this. Yeah, this is. Oh, it's float 3. Okay, I see. Yeah, so this is basically aligned. Well, I guess this is rather troublesome. I'm guessing this is problematic. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is just, well, the X and C position, right? Yeah. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the subscription. I'm having a bit of delay here. Igor, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Okay, so basically, I think we want this is probably going to be floats, I guess. No, not floats. Are we? No. Well, we might as well store them as floats. XPOS and float, CPOS. And this will still be aligned. And let's do simply just XPOS here, CPOS here. And let's not do this. There we go. And let's delete this. And let's our we have several parameters of what do you call it? The scale. Well, maybe I should rework this. Okay. Also, our application here could store our kind of like tile index, so we don't have to compute it all over. We're kind of like using it for a lot of frames in a lot of different systems. So when we compile our game frame data here, when we set this, we probably want something like, is it in the builder? Yeah, yeah. We could do something like this on the game state here. Let's do unsigned, or rather int here. Tile xpos, tile cpos, and we could do a I don't know, maybe a chunk index. I don't know. Maybe we will do that. Oh, I did. In the browser or what? Excuse me. Oh, true. Oh, that's weird. All right. And we store our tile X and C position simply on the game state, so we don't need to kind of like compute it all the time. So let's see, instead of doing this, game state, tile X pos, we're gonna use it a lot of times. Y pos here, C pos rather. Okay, so right now the problem is that our holograms here are weird. They are weird. So instead of offsets here, we have the X position, which is our game state tile X position. And let's do the same for the C here. Yeah, and for the hit tower, that should be fine. Surrounding area. Let's do maybe just this -1. Oh, whoops. Okay, and this is going to be 0. And then -1. And this is going to be +1. And then -1 and 0. 1, 0. Or rather, no, like this. Or what? Let's see, we start with -1, 0, +1. -1, 0, +1, I guess. And then, did I create a mistake here? -1. Yeah, and then, yeah, okay. We don't need this one. I guess. Do you have any luck? I'd say -1, +1 here. Are we missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're missing one. So that's why I can't seem to get it right. Well, I guess it's a tough call to talk someone into. Okay, let's try this. Okay, right now it's not moving. Oh yeah, of course, it's not updating. So that's the problem. I guess that's why I created the offset so it was dynamically rendered. Okay. Huh. Okay. I am mistaken. We might need an offset. Oh, let's just keep this. And what was the actual name for it before? X offset, C offset. Okay. Okay. I have you can set up a Visual Studio to transfer a DLL. You can also I also just created a post build script, so that takes care of most of the stuff. Maybe he's ambivalent. Okay, let's revert all of this stuff here. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Um, tile expos. Yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff. Is there actually a DirectX 13 or are you just kidding? Okay, we're back again. But I'm suspecting that we're having trouble handling what do you call it? Yeah, I'd suspect so. Okay, so we can build a solar panel on our iron. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so the build algorithm is not using the span correctly. Yeah, the article doesn't say anything about it, or? Why do I end up creating it in a weird place? Yeah, maybe I want the tile expos here. Oh, okay. There we go. So this is better. Okay, and yeah, everything seems to be in order now. So we can actually check whether we have a building, or rather a resource here, and we can't build anywhere. I'm clicking away, but we can build here. Of course, we should also update our thingy on the tile set. So whenever we create a building, we probably want a an inclusion of tile data store. And let's do build building. Basically the same stuff here, except we need to look up some stuff for that. Did I mess something up, or is it just trolling me? Let's see. Mostly I use the book that I sent you. But I guess I also read some other tutorials, and I just kept going until I kind of like got a better grasp of it. So let's see. Building. We should basically do something like this. Let's do building. Building type. Okay. And in our builder system here, we can ask the same thing as we did for our, what do you call it? Well, I know that feeling. Always nice having you here, buddy. And good luck with your work. And thanks for all your support watching the stream and yeah, interacting. Goodbye. Take care. And let's check if let's do one here. Okay. And of course I can't see it, but oh, it doesn't clear. Oh, that's a bug. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Huh. Anyway, uh, oh yeah, it doesn't change. So if I do something like this, or well, now I can't deselect it because there's a bug. So let me redo this. Build this first, then select the build tower, or rather heat tower. Yeah, I don't think it works right. Maybe we want the, huh, build building here. Do we just want to call it from the building data store? Create building? I guess. CPOS here. Params, expand, params, cspan. Let's do building type here. Oh yeah, we of course need to call it. Anyway, so if I build that, I can't, as you can see, I can't build it on top of the other building, but I can build here and I can build here. So yeah, this doesn't allow me to. This doesn't check for the whole span though. Yeah. Yeah, so we should need get some logic that actually checks for that. But at least everything seems to be working. Mm, yeah, I'm not sure whether this should be a combined call. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Maybe I even just, maybe I don't want to store the building type. Maybe I just want the building index. Const building index instead of the other stuff. And let's see. Yeah. Let's start by const unsigned int index equals the size of this. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay. And we need some yeah. Right now we're back to allowing ourselves to build wherever we want, so we can just plop things down. Right now we're not checking for anything. Oh, we're actually not setting the flag as well. So, okay, let's just do if tile data dot building less than 0, we can is valid build state. True. So let's see. We can't build here. Okay. And yeah. So I think that we could, well, and tile data, the resources is higher than or equal to 0. So we can only build on stuff like this. So we actually create our building now. We store it. Right now, we're trying to, or should implement something like a, when I place an extractor here on the, what do you call it, iron resource, for when I should call the draw call, but I'll do that later. So this should start some simulation logic. Where we kind of like access a what do you call it? We access the underlying resource amount and extract a amount from it until it reaches 0, and then we simply invalidate the index. Yeah. So let's see, for now, let's work on the application side of things then and the simulation part of things. We have this done for now at least. So we simulate some stuff. This is the computation, I think. No, it's the cinematic camera. Let's scope that because we definitely don't need to scroll over that every time. This is the cinematic camera stuff. Then we have our simulation here. Right now in our simulation, we're actually doing some stuff here. We're doing a watch. I think this is supposed to be outside the simulation. Also, this player input stuff should be outside of the simulation because it doesn't really belong here. The collision stuff is fine. But we want our player controls to be decoupled from our simulation because our simulation is going to be on ticks. There's no reason to kind of like update our simulation for each frame. At least I don't think so. Okay, so let's do editor controls, compile flags here, game clock. Handle player controls. Yeah. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing the whole simulation in a on a tick basis is because maybe you want accumulators of time passed since last frame for each building, but maybe you just want something that runs every second or whatever. And instead of creating, well, maybe not run it every second, that doesn't make any sense, but maybe 60 times per second. Yeah, and then you would probably add accumulators. Anyway, um, let's do float threshold. Um, let's do threshold. 1 divided by 60. And on our game state here, We have our delta time accumulator and time step accumulator. Yeah, let's do a time step here and increase it. And let's check if our game state time step accumulator is larger than or equal to our threshold here. Let's do our simulation. And let's reset this to 0. Let's just check how often we get these updates here. Update of simulation. So it doesn't run every. Let's just do 1 per second, right? Let's just do this and see if it matches our in-game clock. No, it doesn't, because our in-game clock is... It seems like pretty much a... if we compare it... Yeah. This is 60, it takes a minute. It seems, at least. So... great stuff. So we can control our threshold here and our time step by deciding how many updates a second we want. And this is 60 updates a second, which is pretty good. So we will check for collisions on, yeah, it's very responsive still. I mean, yeah. And maybe we don't want collision detections to be, maybe we want them to be done twice, or with a time step of 1 divided by 120 or something. Yeah, maybe we want physics and stuff like that to be updated more often than our simulation. But yeah, anyway. Uh, um, let's see. Let's add that. So in our simulation, we want a building data store here. Uh, yeah. So right now our buildings here, I kind of like just stored. So right now we have the X and C position, the span of the building, and when we create a building, we actually store that information so we know how big the building is. Okay. Let's do a struct here. Building extractor. Iron extractor. And let's do a, this is a one tile extractor here. So let's just do an unsigned int resource index. And right now, let's just treat everything as it is a, let's see, this is private for drawing the buildings. Let's see, primary data, then private, let's see, private secondary data. Iron extractor 1x1. Okay. We could do something like extract iron. Well, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Okay, so this is going to be up here. Whoops, I'm jumping all over the place here. And let's do public here. And public. I like to do this just for separation. Let's do extract iron. Iron extractors, size. Let's do something like that, I guess. And we have access to our tile data store, but we really don't need that. We need, yeah, this is just temporary. I'll try not to speed run it and create a more scalable system, but let's see, resource data store. Since I'm gonna end the stream in maybe half an hour, I'll try to get a naive implementation of the system up and running. Yeah, so we have resource amounts here. Okay. Build building. Okay. Do we want the tiles to Maybe not resource type, maybe the resource index or what? Okay. I'm gonna look into how these systems are going to interact. Because this could also just be the index of the resource. When we call set resource, it's actually when we create the chunk itself. So create resource patch. Yeah, I don't. I should probably couple it. Mm, yeah, maybe we want an overarching system that actually kind of like encapsulates all of these data stores here. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, because they don't know about each other and are probably not supposed to, but yeah. Maybe it's inside the builder system. Yeah. Anyway, the idea is yeah, this is getting convoluted because I don't have an overall structure for it yet. So I have these data stores, which is fine. I'm allowed to create the actual data, which is always nice. So when I create a resource patch, I create this. Yeah, maybe I want something like a overarching structure that handles stuff like this. That's not. Do I want it in the builder system? I could always just rename it. Yeah, I think so. Let's do that. Okay. And let's do an extern here. G builder system. Okay. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Let's close the update thingy. Instead of included it here, let's do in here. Okay, let's do include resource data store. Should it actually have, instead of globals, should it have some kind of ownership over each of the data stores? I don't know. Yeah. So far, I'll leave it. Okay, let's do a public here. Void create building. And let's just grab whatever we have from the building data store. Create building. I guess. Um. Nah. Yeah, I'm unsure how to do this right now because instead of like, me doing all of this, and then we handle the tiles in the building data store, and then we handle the extract iron or whatever. Uh, I think this is probably fine. Yeah. Maybe I'm just getting a bit tired. Uh, yeah, let me contemplate that. And then this would basically just subtract from our subtract from resource tile amount if the resource amount left gets below 0, send a message to remove the resource. And then reset the indices of this one. Yeah, so that's basically the plan. Yeah, so you subtract this by for instance, some tile some tile. Minus maybe 5 or maybe just 2 or something. Yeah, so that should be the logic in rough terms. Let's see. Redefinition. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So this building should start extracting, right? Yeah. All these should until there's no resource left, and then it should be removed. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I've been going at it for almost 3 hours without a break, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish this during the weekend. But yeah, I think we made good progress. We modified the building tool here and allow ourselves to check whether we actually have a building right now. This is bugged, of course. Yeah, but we also, I totally forgot, we actually implemented the resources here. So yeah, that's great as well. So definitely made some progress. We fiddle around with the code stuff. And then I need to figure out, I mean, this is fine, create all of the draw params here. All of this stuff is fine. The only, and this is actually also fine, I think. What we want to do is like merge these two functions here into something. Maybe we'll just do that then. Okay. Let's see. Let me just give it a go. So if we do like this, we don't get into trouble, right? No. And didn't I have in the that's why. Shouldn't be a problem else. Now it should be fine. Yeah. Okay. But this should be fine as well. So the builder system will have our data stores here. And let's exactly implement what I just said that would be nice. Let's do create resource patch. And let's do our calls here. Okay. And this should be what we need, right? So let's disable these calls here. And let's do the builder system, builder system, create resource patch. And then let's just do this. And this is the resource type, doesn't matter. Okay. Let's right now not implement the create building stuff yet. Okay. So we basically want to migrate some stuff. Tile data store. Set resources is something that we will move. Remove that one. And in our resource data store, create resource patch should be commented out. And let's copy this stuff here. And that's great. Okay, build a system here. Okay, in the builder system, or rather the thingy here, let's do a builder system. Did we call it that? I can't remember. Yeah. Let's see. Friend class. System, isn't that the syntax? I don't know. Maybe we don't care then. Maybe we just don't care. Instead of doing a lot of mumbo jumbo here, let's just create a public thingy here. It's basically a struct, which is fine. I like structs more than I like classes anyway, so mostly. No, that's not correct, but sometimes at least. So we have our resource data store. I need to fix this problem now. Resources here. Draw params 0. coordinates. There we go. And this is so far cleaned up. Let's move this over here. Okay. Resources. Resource data store dot this. Let's see. Using namespace resources. Using namespace tiles. Using namespace. What do we call it? Buildings. Okay. We even computed tile index. I don't know why we would do that. Okay. Anyway. Right now, this will stay as is. Should fix this eventually. Okay. G tile data store tiles tile index unsigned int resource index okay. Now that's way more elegant. And let's see, whenever do we actually call it? Yeah, we do. Let's see if everything runs. We should see no difference if we're lucky. We're lucky. Our code works. Okay. Then inside our build a system here, we can actually do something like create building then. I don't know. Would we want to do that like that call? So yeah, inside here we just call building. Let's see, we could do build a system, create building with the same flags instead. I guess. Yeah, let's create some logic for that. That's the building data store. That's not the one that I should be referencing. This should be the one. Okay, building data store. The draw params are probably fine for now. This is going to be public. Yeah. Right now we don't change it, but I suspect that that we should fix this. Yeah, should fix this eventually. Let's do it the same. No, that's fine. Yeah, let's do draw related down here. Resource data. Yeah, so this is basically a struct. I could just call it a struct and remove all of this private stuff, but maybe in the future I want something that is private. Yeah, maybe the transient data or something. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so in here, yeah, we basically don't need this anymore either. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's fix that at a later time. The builder system here. Resource data, not building data store. Create building. Remove that. Building data store. Let's move this into the builder system. And let's remove the method. Create draw params, extract iron. Let's just remove that as well. We don't want to do that. Okay, so it's basically a data store now. Okay, and when we want to create a building, we should look up the actual parameters for this. So let's do G building data store is inaccessible. Hell no. Hell no. Maybe draw params is a bad name. Or maybe we want the span stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's fine right now. Private, I guess, should be fixed. Yeah, okay. Okay, and then inside our builder system here, we can now access our draw params. We don't, yeah, we want to do some kind of like assertion here, of course, that it's within the bounds of that one. And let's do building index. Okay, I just needed to swap the music. Swap the music. Okay. And let's see, expand C-span here. And let's do G tile data store tiles. And then we need to fetch the resource index. Um, okay, I gotta go soon, but let's do a G building data store. There we go, and G building data store. Yeah, and we don't need to do this. Okay, this also needs to be public. Okay. So this actually creates our building. So now we set our tiles and our build stuff in the same place. And we're back to building our buildings here. Let's see. Yeah, I can't build there. Okay. Just to test. So I can't build here, but I can build here, yeah. Okay. Right now, I'll just do something like this. Resource indices. Shouldn't be in here. Okay, let's see, build data. Okay. Okay. In our simulation, let's create some ImGUI stuff. Simulation data. ImGUI end. Okay, building data store. Buildings. Okay. Const auto reference. Building. G building, of course, buildings. G data store. And let's see, building data. Let's see. No. Would I rather just display some resources, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's wait a minute. So I create the buildings, I link them to the resource indices. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Resource data store instead, maybe resources G coordinates, and let's, instead of doing this, okay. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with me. It was really nice as always. Have a nice day. And then we do let's do using namespace resources. Let's do that. Okay. And let's do this. And let's do text. Let's see. Coordinate. Let's see, coordinate dot xpath, coordinate dot ypath, or cpath. Let's do that. Oh, it's because of the ticks, right? Okay. Simulation data. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Right now we will do it in the application. Not implemented right now. And let's just do resources. Maybe I just want to using namespace resources, using namespace tiles, using namespace buildings. Yeah, so let's do it right here instead. So we have our coordinates. Well, that's not. Oh, I should probably just do hot reloading anyway. And then our amount, is it actually in floats or? No, it's in ints. Okay. Let's do like this then. Let's do I here then, and then do G resource data store amounts here. Hot reload. Oh, okay. I can't do it outside debug mode. Yeah, amount 10. So now we can actually see what's going on. And let's do, whenever we couple a building, building data store, building data, I++. Huh? Oh, that's size. There we go. Okay. So for each of our buildings here, let's just create a, well, I guess this should happen inside our simulation. Because otherwise it will just be super, super fast. Huh? Ah. Yeah, but I think maybe I want the, actually want to include the builder system here instead. Let's do builder system. Not updates, but the G builder system here. And this needs an update function. And let's do an update here. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting close to the end now. I think I might be able to do it before I end this stream. So inside the builder system update here. Yeah, this should be renamed. update, build, tool, and inside here, let's change this. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Okay, let's do the update here, and then did I move this code? No, I didn't. So this is just outputting whatever we have in our resource slots here. And then let's do for const auto. Well, I don't think this could be const. I think auto reference here, building. G, building data store, building data. Let's do building for auto reference resource inside the building dot resource indices. And let's do resource, or rather, let's do resource data store, resource amounts, resource minus equals 1. Let's see. So if I take a building and place it, you can immediately see that we kind of like subtract resources. Of course, this logic here should be even more sophisticated, but we simply have quote unquote resource minus. Yeah. So that's pretty great. It's not a very sophisticated system, but I'll add to it and yeah, I'll definitely improve on it. Let's see, does it remember this? No, it doesn't. Okay, so the cinematic camera stuff I want to change before I end this. No save settings. Definitely save the settings, please. Okay, so the cinematic camera should be down here. And our simulation data up here. Okay, so we have building logic. Right now it doesn't care what building we place on these iron resources. The resources get drained. And of course it doesn't make sense to have negative resources, but yeah, we will definitely create some logic here. So for instance, something like if the resources are below, then remove it from the building vector. Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. from me today. I'm gonna end the stream here. If you found it helpful, entertaining, or inspirational, feel free to consider supporting the channel by subscribing, commenting, or liking, or even checking out the description down below if you want to support my efforts. Anyway, I think this was good progress. Yeah. So we will definitely be creating more robust logic for our stuff here in order to actually extend the game. I want to do a minor here that every second kind of like produces an X amount of resources. Yeah. But we need some adjustments to our systems. We'll build as we go. But yeah, that'll be fun. It will be more like a gameplay, like whenever that gets done. Alright, please take care everyone, and keep on trucking. Bye bye.